know about everything that everyone is doing. That's unconstitutional.
This woman playing both judge and government agent is Naomi Brockwell, who used to work for me.
Wait, what are you doing? I'm buying data about everything that everyone is doing.
Brockwell's YouTube channel argues that tech companies and government violate the Fourth Amendment.
Who are you again? I'm the Fourth Amendment.
It gives us the right to be secure against unreasonable searches.
So you can't just collect and search all their information. Oof, that's awkward. I just did.
Her point is that our government now constantly spies on us.
Consumer data is being resold to companies that buy and sell data for the government.
Many people say this tracking us is a good thing.
It's not only good for the companies, it's good for the user because it makes for a much more seamless experience.
If you've forgotten where you've been or what you've searched for to get there, Google has your back.
These make my life easier. Convenience matters.
Convenience absolutely matters, but privacy is important.
Brockwell's videos are popular. Hundreds of thousands of people are watching them. They presumably are worried about their privacy. What's wrong with me? I don't care if they have this information.
I think you should care. Let's talk about the US government. They know what color underwear you like to buy and what kinds of videos make you just scroll a little bit slower. And
so what?
That data is forever. That data is stored in permanent records associated with your identity, in databases in Utah. And you have no control over what regime might come to power tomorrow. You have no control over which hacker might get access to that data. You have no control over what societal norms might change in the next 10 years. And that data suddenly becomes incriminating. You're basically making a bet that you and the people with the guns will always stay on good terms. And that is a bad bet.
People with the guns means the government.
The people who have a monopoly on force, the people who have the ability to put you in jail. You're making a bet that you're gonna stay on good terms with them. And I don't think that's a reasonable bet to make because laws change all the time. Just look at abortion laws, right? Suddenly overnight, abortion becomes illegal and women who perhaps wanted an abortion, they went from being a law-abiding citizen to suddenly they were a criminal. This is a big deal. This is just an example of one law. What if they made cryptocurrency illegal? What if they made guns illegal? And everyone who partakes in that suddenly becomes a criminal.
I'm a public person. The government knows I criticize them.
Get out of my life.
Privacy comes down to choice, right? It's not that I want everything that I do to remain private. It's that I deserve to have the right to selectively reveal to the world what I want them to see.
So don't sign in using Google. They don't need this information about you.
Privacy is fundamental to a free society. Look at any whistleblower, any NGO worker or human rights activist or a dissident or a journalist who's pushing back against an authoritarian regime. Look at what happened in China, in Hong Kong.
The Communist Party has now revealed a plan to bring Hong Kong to heel.
Hong Kong used to be a bastion of freedom.
When China crushed that freedom, the government used people's phones to track and punish protesters.
And they're persecuting them. And now people are too afraid to do anything.
Hong Kong's political freedoms have been eroded.
It's easy for government to track people because the apps on our phones record where we are and more.
I've been watching you.
Who gave you permission to record me?
You did, boo. When you downloaded this app, you gave the app permission to access your camera.
Wait, so just giving an app permission to use the camera means that they can record me whenever they want?
But once you grant us technical access, baby, you're just relying on the honor system.
Think about all the apps on your phone that you've given permission to access your camera.
Facebook was caught activating a phone camera. But here Google's boss reminded Congress it's the customer's choice.
If you're using a fitness application, which is detecting the number of steps you walk, you expect it to send that information, but it's a choice users make.
You've probably given location permission, you've given microphone permission, camera
so
permission.
So they work better.
So you're happy with one of these obscure apps where you know nothing about the developers to be able to look through your private photos?
I don't think they want to look at my private photos.
And that's the presumption you're making.
If they know where I am, they can recommend a car repair shop near me. Or a restaurant near me. I like that.
I think that it's creepy, personally, but it goes further than that. These companies have a whole business model of selling that data. You have no idea where it ends up. It could be ending up in the hands of the Chinese government. It could be ending up in the hands of, hackers on the dark web who want to target you with phishing scams. It could be ending up in the hands of political regimes who want to target you with specific content to get you to think in a certain way, to get you to hate certain people.
China is trying to interfere in U.S. politics and try to stir up tensions.
And you're probably oblivious that any of this stuff is going going on.
Oblivious unless we notice how specifically they market to us.
Target's advanced advertising system even knew about a teenage girl's pregnancy before she could break the news to her own father.
The only time I get creeped out is when I suddenly see an ad and it's like, oh my God, were they just listening to me? How did they know to send me this?
They know.
But they're not listening to me.
Did you give them permission to access your microphone?
Probably.
Probably. They might be listening to you. Let me have a look at your phone. I want to see what apps you have on your phone. We'll take a look. See, I mean, you have so many apps on your phone right here, John. If I were you, I would delete almost all of these apps. First of all, because
I like them.
I know you like them, but you're taking your phone around with you everywhere you go. It's an intensely personal device. The government is purchasing all this data about us. They're creating records about all of us, and that's a really scary thing.
In a future video, I'll show you which apps she told me to delete. And I took some of her suggestions. Maybe you should too. Hope you like our videos. Big tech often doesn't, unfortunately. Sometimes they censor, stop you from seeing them. But if you sign up for our email list, click there, we can get around their censorship and send the videos to you directly. And unlike big tech, we will never share your data.